Stupid. 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 Wait a minute. Actually, hey, hold on. That reminds me of something.
Heavyweight champion. Stupid. Oh, Kofi, do I have your attention?
Do I have your attention now? I think CM Punk said it a little bit better than Randy did there. But do I have everybody's attention now? If you look at the title of today's review, stupid. Monday Night Raw, March 15th, 2021. Stupid. Yes, that is the one word to not only describe Monday Night Raw, but the entire build to WrestleMania. Nothing else but stupid. Look, if you guys can tell, I'm not in my room. I'm not in my normal recording location because, I'm just doing some cleaning, so I'm just recording in another part of the house right now. And I am not in the mood. I'm recording this on 3/16 day, Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. And I'm recording this halfway in the afternoon. Part of me doesn't want to do this review. And for some of y'all that message me on social media asking me what time I'm going to put a review and you wonder why I don't reply, you're stupid. It goes perfectly. You're absolutely stupid. I post a review when I choose to. Would I prefer the live stream a review? Of course. But I will not be able to live stream most likely till around the end of April. So you guys are going to continue to have to wait on my Monday Night Raw reviews and SmackDown and etc. until then. But sucks because I won't be able to live stream WrestleMania. I won't be able to do, a WrestleMania reaction or stream or a WrestleMania review live. But you guys will, still get the best in podcast form. But honestly, this show was so stupid last night that it makes me feel stupid for sitting here the next day talking about it. I should be drinking away my sorrows with a couple Steve Weisers, trying to make myself pass out and forget how stupid this show was. Are we actually on the road to WrestleMania? Do we actually have a pay-per-view this Sunday? I don't know if you guys realize this, but WWE Fastlane is this Sunday. The final stop on the road to WrestleMania, as they market it. And I couldn't care less. I couldn't. Outside of the tag team title match, because Sasha and Bianca are in it, and Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, there is nothing else on this show that I give a shit about. Tonight, we got Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss announced. We clearly know that's most likely going to be set up for The Fiend to finally return. Right? He hasn't been back since December, so he's going to come back. Stupid. Couldn't give a shit. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. As good as their rivalry is, it's stupid. Doesn't mean shit. Because WWE decided last night, let's be stupid and announce that Drew McIntyre is the number one contender for the WWE Championship and just announced the match right there on TV. I don't care. We all knew that Drew McIntyre was the obvious number one contender. But why couldn't you make Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre at Fastlane, have some actual stakes, and be like, winner faces Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania? How hard is that to write? It writes itself. Stupid. What else? Oh, AJ Styles. AJ Styles, less than 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. They just announced what AJ Styles' next, what AJ Styles' WrestleMania match is gonna be. Stupid. The fact that we're this deep in the game, we're this close to WrestleMania, and now you announce AJ Styles' match. One of the best in the entire company. When you look at the top male wrestlers, he's in the top 5. No matter what you say. It's just so retarded, so stupid, and the fact is his match is gonna be teaming up with Almas, who we've never seen in a ring. We've just seen him as a bodyguard, right? Do a couple slams here and there, but we had no idea what this guy can actually do in the ring, and he's going up against the New Day. And I love the New Day, you guys know this. But now, the New Day, who just won their 11th, which we'll talk about, their 11th Tag Team Championship, right? And even though I love the New Day and I don't mind them being champs, now the Hurt Business, who were doing fantastic, you know, they were on top of the mountain, holding most of the championships on Raw, right? Now, to me, it kind of guarantees that, I'm not going to say guarantees, but it kind of makes me feel like it's very likely that Bobby Lashley's going to lose the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. And if that's the case, that is just as stupid as anything else on this show. Right? The Hurt Business are probably not going to have a match at WrestleMania now, unless they're in some kind of Battle Royal Smosh Fest, right? And they don't deserve that, because they've actually been one of the best things on Raw for the last year. And now Bobby Lashley definitely does not deserve to lose the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. No matter what. I don't care. Drew's had his time. And I love Drew McIntyre. But it's Lashley's time to shine. And if anything other than Bobby Lashley retaining at WrestleMania is plain, flat out stupid. Alright? And worst of all, more than anything, Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. Are you fucking kidding me right now? What the hell was that shit last night? Honestly. I said this on Twitter. It's like Shane McMahon got the leftovers of the slime buckets from the Kids' Choice Awards from Nickelodeon, and he decided to dump it on Braun Strowman. What was that stupid shit? Honestly. Are you kidding me right now? A storyline centered around Braun feels like he's being bullied by Shane McMahon, insulting him, calling him stupid. Are you kidding me right now? And to make matters worse, you basically gave us the match last night, right? Now you're gonna give us the match again at Fastlane, and then we know that match will lead to a third and final match at WrestleMania. And nobody wants to see it to begin with. So not only are we being forced to see it once, you're going to make us see it twice, and then you're going to make us see it a third time at WrestleMania. How stupid can you get? How stupid can you get? I can go through everything else on this show as well, right? Asuka returning, and now it's like they're teasing Asuka turning heel. That's stupid. I not doing a Raw Women's title tournament to determine the number one contender for Asuka at WrestleMania. That's stupid. With everything on this show, every single feud and storyline, there is something stupid that surrounds it. So Shane McMahon calling Braun Strowman stupid in this stupid storyline, this shows how stupid Raw is in general. It's symbolic. It's symbolic of how stupid this WrestleMania build has been. SmackDown is okay, right? You have the IC title with Biggie and Apollo. You have the Universal Championship scene. But that would be stupid if Daniel Bryan's not in there. You have Rollins and Cesaro. And even though the whole original shit is nauseating, you're still getting Sasha and Bianca at WrestleMania. But, man, how stupid can this show get? And the sad thing is, this is what Vince wants. Because I read a report that Vince McMahon when he's backstage, he surrounds himself in a room with yes men. And I've said this for years, but it's so bad that he surrounds himself with these people that will specifically say yes to him and make him feel good about his decisions. That is sad. That shows you how far gone Vince truly is. He is so out of touch that he hires people that are not going to offend him. He hires people that are going to tell him what he wants to hear. He doesn't care about my voice. He doesn't care about your voice. He doesn't care about the WWE universe. He doesn't care about what's best for business anymore. Vince cares about Vince only. And that is sad. And it shows how bad Raw is going to be. It shows how bad the future of WWE is going to continue to be. Look at Andrade, how unhappy he is. How he wants his release and they refuse to give it to him. Look at Chad Gable, who's going to walk out of the company in a couple weeks when his contract expires. And who knows how many other names who have contracts set to expire later this year. Or superstars that are unhappy who want to release so that they can walk over to AEW. Even though I do not like AEW, I'll be honest. I don't like AEW. I watch it. You know, because AEW, yes, they do a lot of things right, but they also do a whole lot wrong. Just watch the finale of that AEW pay-per-view last week with the whole Kenny Omega bots thing with Jon Moxley. Like, come on. It's so bad and sad how we're at this point. I can't even come here and defend it. I can't come up with an excuse to give them a free pass. There is no free pass. You're selling WrestleMania tickets this week, hoping to fill Raymond James Stadium to about 45,000 people. But yeah, I know the capacity there is about 75. And with each passing week, the limit gets higher and higher. Because I know with more vaccines and vaccinations, things are getting back to normal. But this is not a show anybody should want to go to. Unless you're going to see the SmackDown matches and you know which night the SmackDown matches are going to be on, there is no point in going to see this show live. You would be stupid to go see this show live. I want fans back in attendance more than anything. But it's honestly stupid to give Vince McMahon money because he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. And as long as they have these massive TV deals and these network deals with Peacock and all these other partnerships with companies, this is what they're going to continue to do. Because as long as they're making more money than ever, Vince is going to feel like he can do whatever he wants. No matter how bad the ratings are. And that is absolutely stupid and sad. Monday Night Raw is an absolute dumpster fire of a mess. And that's what this show was last night. I don't want to review this show. It's stupid and it's a waste of my time. But I do it for y'all. Because y'all support me and y'all want me to keep doing this. So I will. I'll put myself through the misery and the suffering and the hope that maybe one day things will get better. Maybe one day. Probably won't. But maybe one day it will. Stupid, 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 bro. But we're going to try. We're going to try some way. We're going to try some way to review this show. I don't know how. Trust me. I don't know how we're going to do it. But we're going to try. And I'm going to try to get through this quick. Because right now, bro, my soul is depressed. Really. Like, they just continue to get worse and worse. And there's just no care. There's like no effort to do anything to make this show better because of Vince. And it's sad. It's sad. But we're going to try. We're going to try to get through this show. I don't know how we're going to do it, but let's get into it, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on the Legit Shoot podcast tonight, guys. I forgot to do my own intro. I'm Fitzmonk TV, your host. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys like what you guys are listening to, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe by hitting that big red button, enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name, Fitzmonk TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. But let's get into Raw tonight. So the show opened up with Bobby Lashley, the WWE champion, the almighty WWE champion, came up wearing a nice purple Barney level suit. I love the way Bobby Lashley dresses, man. The guy's an inspiration. He had MVP by his side. And basically, Bobby Lashley confirmed that he would be facing Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. It's not a surprise to anybody. That's not the thing here. It is not a surprise to anybody that Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley is for the WWE title. That's the match we all knew we were going to get. The problem here is that it was so predictable that they decided to put no effort into building the number one contender. This is what they thought. Oh, McIntyre lost his championship, right? He just gets an automatic rematch at the main event of WrestleMania. I thought the era of automatic rematch clauses were over. I guess not. Thanks for insulting our intelligence. Also, you have Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, and as for the most part has been a very enjoyable feud. Even though many of us expected to be for the WWE Championship, the plans got changed, and it became a normal feud, right? But the matches have been the best thing on Monday Night Raw the last couple weeks. So to continue that, right, and to put some stakes into the third and final match this Sunday at Fastlane, why wouldn't you put that match? The winner gets to be the number one contender and face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Put some real stakes. We know McIntyre and Sheamus are going to beat the absolute shit out of each other. We know it's going to be a great match. We know how good these two are in the ring. They have fantastic chemistry. You can see they're not afraid to absolutely hit each other with everything they got. Drew and Sheamus, they show the bruises and the battle scars of their battles on social media every single week. So why wouldn't you put this match for the number one contender? Why? Even if it was obvious that Drew was going to win, right? Lashley's a heel, but McIntyre's the babyface, right? Even if it was obvious that McIntyre was going to win, at least for the casuals who don't know any better, right? Or at least to add some level of intrigue, just book it as a number one contenders match. It puts stakes. Now, because we've seen this match the last 2 weeks, there's no stakes. There's nothing on the line here. I don't expect anything different from what we got the last 2 weeks. It's going to be a damn good fight, and McIntyre's going to win at the end of the day. How hard is that to book? Really? Honestly, how hard is that to book? Just come into work and say, all right, we're going to do McIntyre versus Sheamus, number one contender, winner faces Lashley at Mania. McIntyre is going to get the win. How hard is that to book? There is no reason for us to care about McIntyre and Sheamus. There is nothing on the line. It's just a match to fill up 15 to 20 minutes on the pay-per-view card. That's it. And it may be match of the night for all we know. Even though I think, that's going to be given to Roman and Daniel Bryan. But still, we know how good those two are. How hard is that? How hard is that? It's the simple shit. It's the simple stuff that WWE lacks to do that makes the show so stupid. And if you guys haven't caught on by now for this review, right? Since, they wanted to play up this whole stupid shit with Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman, I'm going to say stupid basically every 30 seconds of this review. If you guys haven't caught on. But it's just nauseating how simple some of these things are and how difficult WWE makes it on themselves. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's just stupid. It really is stupid. Anyway, right? Miz came out with John Morrison. He was getting ready for a match with McIntyre, but Miz said even after getting his ass whooped by Lashley last 2 weeks, Miz came out he asked Lashley to, instead of facing McIntyre Mania, to put him in that slot and have Miz versus Lashley be the WWE title match at WrestleMania. Yeah, right. I have nothing to say to that. Nothing. All right? I'm just going to move on. It's stupid. It's stupid. So McIntyre came out. I actually really did like the the interaction that Lashley and McIntyre have. The one thing I like about this is this feud feels so much different. Like, these two feel like they're on a whole nother level from where they were at Backlash just last year. It honestly feels like night and day with these two. Really. Like, Lashley's so much more of a star. McIntyre has become just a much better babyface since that feud back in I believe it was last June. And this feels like an actual big time WrestleMania match. These two are gonna absolutely destroy each other. I just hate how we got here, right? McIntyre said that we took similar journeys to get to where we are. 20 years fighting, being held back, and both of us in the last year becoming world champions. But McIntyre did mock Lashley for the way he won the title by going through the Miz and not going through him and calling out the best. But McIntyre said he was not going to bitch and complain because he just said he was going to whip Sheamus' ass and then he was going to go to the main event of WrestleMania and take back his WWE Championship. And he called Lashley a bald bitch, which I actually like. That was cool. But like I said, I did like the interaction here. The only negative was the Miz, right? Like, the Miz was there being a waste of time. Miz kept butting in like, do not forget about me. I have a role in here too. No, you don't, right? No, you don't. Nothing you do at WrestleMania will make me care about the show. It won't. I don't care about this Bad Bunny, Damien Priest shit that we're clearly building towards. I do not care. It's retarded. It's stupid. Right? But all of a sudden, Lashley would blindside McIntyre because Sheamus came out, or not Sheamus. It wasn't Sheamus. I think Sheamus came out afterwards. But anyway, Lashley blindsided McIntyre because McIntyre was looking at Miz. Right? Lashley exited the ring. Then Miz started being down on McIntyre, trying to get an advantage for their match. And then Sheamus attacked Lashley from behind. And he explained that the reason for that is, Lashley attacking Drew is going to make Drew less than 100% for their third match at Fastlane. And he doesn't want, any excuses from McIntyre. He wants him at his full strength for when he kicks his ass. Right? And I love Sheamus, man. If right now, especially now knowing that AJ Styles is going to be teaming up with Almost, which we'll talk about a little bit later, right? I think you got to do Sheamus. I would do Sheamus versus Matt Riddle for the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania. Sheamus has been one of the best heels on the entire main roster, and I don't think you guys can dispute that. I did like Sheamus as a babyface, but he's just as good as a heel. I think you guys got to do Sheamus versus Matt Riddle for the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania, especially right now with Riddle not having any opponent. That's the match I would do, all right? But Sheamus then said he would take out Lashley tonight, and then he would take out McIntyre at Fastlane. And then it would be announced that our main event would be Lashley versus Sheamus. Getting back to what was going on with Drew and Miz, right? Drew dominating this match. I'm not going to waste time, really going through it. We've seen this match before. There's nothing special here, right? Every time Miz had any offense, McIntyre just responded with twice the aggression. He hit a Future Shock DDT on the Miz, then nailed him with a Claymore kick. But instead of going for the pin, right, he wanted to send a message to Lashley, and then he made the Miz tap out with the full Nelson, aka Lashley's Hurt Lock. Right, so McIntyre clearly making a statement and sending a message to Lashley there by using his own move to get the win on the Miz. Right, so good stuff here from McIntyre. Don't care about the match though, but I do like the intensity that McIntyre showed in his promo to Lashley, and then with the message he tried to send when he beat the shit out of the Miz. Right. So, the thing about it is this show didn't even get up to a terrible opening. Yeah, the only bad part really is the Miz, because who gives a shit about the Miz, really? That was the only thing. So we had a quick funny scene with R-Truth and the rest of the Raw Women's Division backstage. As you know, R-Truth was doing his best Stone Cold Steve Austin impressions, right? And the thing is, I love R-Truth, man. The guy's hilarious. It's just, it's WrestleMania season. We should be focused on building the best card possible, especially for the first show without fans, or the first show with fans in over a year. You know what I mean? So I love the R-Truth, drinking the Speedwisers, right? Saying, Stone Cold's catchphrases, all that good stuff. But it's just like, with how stupid this show was, it's hard for me to, say anything positive about anything, right? So anyway, we had Shayna and Nia. We know Nia's going to be facing Sasha for the SmackDown Women's Championship. If you guys want my thoughts on what I expect to happen with that match, make sure to go check out the SmackDown review. If you guys haven't already, that is live on the channel right now. But, it's just, the one thing I would say, I'm glad that Reginald wasn't there because, man, I'm getting sick and tired of seeing his bitch face. Really, I love Reginald. I don't know. I don't love Reginald. What the hell am I saying? I did like Reginald for a time there. But, just thinking about it over the weekend, man, I'm totally want him gone now. The guy's just a pain in the ass to deal with and watch on TV. But, anyway, we had this tag team women's division match. I guess, you basically to kind of see who would be the next in line for the women's tag team championships, no matter what happens. No matter what happens at Fastlane with Sasha and Bianca and Jackson Baszler, right? But, there was nothing to this match. The big thing here was Asuka. Asuka came out midway through the match to try to get some payback on Shayna Baszler, who was at the commentary table. Asuka laid her out, and, it was kind of random, right? Because, it's like they did the match only to have Asuka return, but Asuka already was set to have a match with Shayna later in the night. So I was just like, what's the point of doing this now? Right? Asuka could have just waited to get her payback later on in the night, which she did, and we'll talk about it. But it just felt very weird here, because it just felt so random. Nobody was expecting Asuka to come out at that time. She just came out and stood on the ramp. And she, waited till Shayna came to attack her. So, if anything, the fact that Asuka didn't even attack Shayna, it was Shayna that had to get off from commentary to attack Asuka. It was just all so wacky and stupid. All right? Back inside the ring, we saw Dana Brooke hit Lana with a neck breaker. Great job, man, pitting Lana. That is such world championship material right there. And forgive me, guys, my eyes are bothering me. But, Manny and Dana get the win, and that's that. All right. Next up, we had the New Day versus the Hurt Business for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Right. This match, the thing about it is this is the only two legitimate teams in the division. Right. AJ Styles and Almas, they're not a team. Right? We'll see if they can prove that to us that they are a team in the next 4 weeks, but they're not a team. They're just two people that were put together to make a match at WrestleMania. That's it. So the fact is, and then you have the Lucha House Party, who no one really gives a crap about on Monday Night Raw. WWE just granted the New Day a fresh title opportunity. Here we go, we're gonna give it to you on a silver platter. And then going into the match, I had no idea, just like probably most of y'all, we had no idea that AJ and Almas would come out to make the challenge for WrestleMania. So I was 50-50 on the match itself, right? Before the match, Matt Riddle, who was riding on his scooter throughout the entire night, he came to wish the New Day luck and giving them, things we got to do after we win our title matches tonight, whatever. But, I was 50-50 on him because I was like, the New Day, they could definitely win. No surprise there, them being the baby faces. Wouldn't be surprised if WWE wanted them walking the WrestleMania as champions. But I was thinking for the Hurt Business and for somebody, for two people who have rediscovered themselves in this tag team and in this overall faction with Bobby Lashley and MVP, Benjamin and Alexander have done a, great job making, the best out of this, what was first thought of as very little, right? And I was like, they should go into WrestleMania as the Raw Tag Team Champions. They really should. Honestly, they deserve it. And if you want to have the New Day win the titles there, so be it. But they actually did the title change tonight, right? So the New Day, they come out in their new Mortal Kombat gear, which everybody's been raving about. Was a guy, I can't lie, pretty fly, right? Rhyming accidentally. The match was really good, right? It's the Hurt Business and the New Day. They faced off so many times in the fall, when the New Day were Raw Tag Team Champions after the draft. And, these two have fantastic chemistry. I can't think of a bad match between the two. This was great, right? So, basically, near the end here, Alexander and Woods were trading strikes. Both men made the hot tag. Kingston came close, beating Benjamin a few times with a few moves. He then hit Benjamin with Trouble in Paradise. And then Woods followed up with the diving elbow. So the New Day really wanted to send a statement here to everyone in the tag team division, by continue to do finishers on AJ Styles, even though to do finishers on the Hurt Business even after they had already had the win wrapped up. So then they did their third finisher. I don't remember what it's called. It's the one where Kofi jumps off and does like a huge, I think it's like a knee strike or whatever. So that was what got them the titles. So the New Day are 11-time tag team champions. And love or hate the New Day, I just gotta say this: you cannot respect that they are not one of the best tag teams of all time. If you say that they're not, man, you gotta check again in WWE history. All right. They may not be top, it's honestly subjective. But honestly, when you compare them to, the New Age Outlaws, when you compare them to the Dudley Boys, when you compare them to the Hardys, right? And so many of the great tag teams, the Usos, right? WWE has built them as winners. Vince said that he wanted the New Day to be one of the greatest tag teams of all time. That's the reason why they've won so many tag team titles over the last years. There are 11 times. Think about that. The New Day was formed, late 2014? And then, they became heels in 2015. That's when they won their first tag team title. And then now here we are in 2021, nearly a decade. And now, nearly a decade after that, and now they are 11-time tag team champions. They've won the tag team titles almost twice in every single year since 2015. That's astonishing, right? Because wrestling is all about characters. Wrestling is all about, what's the word I'm looking for? Wrestling is all about winning. There it is. Winning. Simple. The simple way to build up a superstar is winning. You lose, you're going to be looked at as a jobber. You win, you can become a main eventer. That's how John Cena got there. That's how almost all the greats. And then having a great character and personality on top of that just makes it better. And the New Day, we know they have great characters. Kofi, great. I love Kofi. One of my favorites of all time. Xavier, man, I love him too. And Biggie, you see what he's doing. That's the reason why he's a single star right now. And he's not focused on teaming with the New Day. Even though he's still a member of that faction. They're fantastic. And Vince loves them too. Right? You can make an argument that they shouldn't be 11-time tag team champions. Maybe them being like 6 or 7-time tag team champions. That would be a little more reasonable, right? They've had a lot of, I would say, forced title reigns. But still, I'm not going to sit here and, try to argue with how great the New Day have been. Especially for the tag team division. The WWE tag team division is already dead. If the New Day weren't there, it would be non-existent, right? It's that simple. You book superstars to win, and you give them a character and a personality on top of that, you have a recipe for success. That's all the wrestling business is characters. Either you're a winner or a loser. Simple. All right, but after the match, right? And I hate this for the Hurt Business. Like I said, it looks like the Hurt Business now, they're out of the match at WrestleMania, which sucks. But anyway, they're out of a match at WrestleMania, and instead it's going to be AJ Styles and Almas. AJ Styles and Almas came out after the match to congratulate the New Day, and then officially challenged them to a match at WrestleMania. Right? And the big thing here is not really AJ Styles. Like I said earlier, the fact that it took this long for AJ Styles to get a match at WrestleMania, this close to WrestleMania, less than 4 weeks away, is sad. Right? A lot of us was hoping for maybe AJ Styles versus Triple H and what could be Triple H's retirement match. I was saying maybe AJ Styles versus Matt Riddle for the U.S. Championship. But this is what they're doing. And, Almas is the big story here because he's going to be making his debut at WrestleMania. What do you do here with Almas, right? Well, it's simple if you ask me. If AJ Styles has been training Almas, because that's what the reports have been saying, that, he's been actually getting trained. If that is true, then show me what he can do at WrestleMania. It's going to be hard because Xavier and Kofi, right? Them going up against a big... I feel it could make a little more sense with Kofi because Kofi's more of a high flyer, Let's see. Have Almas show us this new, this new offense on Kofi at Mania. I want to believe that if Almas is truly being trained by AJ Styles, that we can expect something from him at WrestleMania, right? I don't know what it is yet. But if that is true, because AJ's one of the best in the world, so at least he should be able to teach almost some basics. Plus, it's WrestleMania. AJ's going to want to have the best match possible. So we'll see. It sucks that this match is only being really made because you don't really have any other options in the Raw Tag Team division, and you had to take the titles off the Hurt Business to get this match, right? But I'm going to give it a shot because I trust AJ Styles. And the thing is, I also trust the New Day. It's Almas is going to have to prove, if he's worth the hype or not. So we'll just have to wait and see, right? I'm not going to give no prediction. We'll save WrestleMania prediction for when we're in the last final week for the show. But definitely it's going to be interesting to see how this all gets built up. All right. So next up we had Damien Priest versus Elias. Before that, backstage, R-Truth came up to Bad Bunny and Damien Priest and gave him a bunch of gear, right? They gave him a Stone Cold Steve Austin vest. They gave him a lunchbox. They gave him an action figure, a replica title belt, which you guys can get on WWEshop.com, which looks great, right? I love how WWE's doing these replica titles now for superstars. They did one for The Undertaker. They did one for The Rock last year. Now they're doing one for Stone Cold to celebrate 316 Day. I love it. But R-Truth said that the only thing he wanted in exchange was his baby back, a.k.a. the 24/7 title. And R-Truth got it back. Bad Bunny didn't let him pin it or anything. He just gave it away. Right? So I guess that makes sense based off of... what is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Based off of 24/7 title rules. Right? I'm not going to care because who the fuck cares about the 24/7 title? It doesn't matter. Right? But it is what it is. I don't see what's the whole hype about Bad Bunny is anyway. Right? But that's all we keep hearing. All this talk about Bad Bunny this, Bad Bunny that. Right? But other than that, after this, we actually got a match here. So basically, Damien Priest was set to face Jason Riker. Right? Or Jackson Riker, who gives a shit? Jackson Riker got beat in basically 30 seconds. 30 seconds. The match didn't last that long at all. And, the story was after the match. Elias was ringside, and after the match, he immediately attacked Priest, right? And then, after he took out Priest... Or, he didn't take him. He just sent Priest to the outside. He looked like he was going to attack Bad Bunny. But Bad Bunny actually got a clean shot on Elias, which actually didn't look bad. It looked like a lot, Bad Bunny's actually been taking notes. I'm not gonna lie, Bad Bunny throws a better punch than some of the other WWE superstars on TV. And that's sad. That is truly sad, But anyway, after that, then Damien Priest came out, or he came out. He recovered and came back into the ring to help Bad Bunny out, and he took out Elias. And then Morrison came down the ring and then distracted Bad Bunny and Damien Priest, which allowed The Miz to actually use Elias's guitar. The guitar didn't break, which was sad, right? The fact that Miz couldn't, break a guitar when we seen everybody else be able to do it successfully. But anyway, Bad Bunny did a pretty good job actually selling it. And then, Miz ran up before Damien Priest could get revenge. So clearly, it looks like we're going to get Priest and, what's his name? Priest and Bad Bunny versus Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania. I don't care for it. I have no desire to see it, right? If you are hyped for it, whatever, right? Unless Bad Bunny could have come out doing full-on moonsaults, I got no care to see it at all, right? The only positive out of all of this is that the fact that Damien Priest has actually been booked decent. He's still undefeated, but how much longer is that going to last if we're truly being honest with ourselves, right? Like, we're terrified for that. So, we'll see how much longer that actually lasts. But yeah, it's just basically, we're just waiting out for it to be confirmed that Bad Bunny will team up with Damien Priest against Miz and Morrison. That should probably be announced here either sometime the next week, if not on Raw next week. So we'll see. So, moving on, Alexa Bliss was in Alexa's Playground backstage, and she said that, Randy, if you want to get rid of me, right, I'm going to give you the chance this Sunday at Fastlane, right? And then later on in the show, Randy Orton would respond by saying, if Alexa wants me to get her out of my life for good, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it was confirmed right after Raw that we would be getting Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton in an intergender one-on-one singles match this Sunday at Fastlane. The only good part about this is that we didn't have to see Randy Orton gag up black blood or whatever you want to call it from one of those capsules again for like the 4th straight week. That's the only positive here. You guys know I've been very high on Alexa Bliss, but I've gotten tired of this feud. And clearly, this is just set up for The Fiend to come back. We've been speculating since TLC when The Fiend would return, and he's going to be back. It has to be. That's all the rumors have said, that The Fiend's going to be coming back to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And it sucks that it took 4 months of The Fiend being off television for us to get to this point. And I'm not going to say that The Fiend being on Raw would have made the show better, because there's really nobody that can make this show better. I'm being honest. There's nobody on the current roster that can make Raw better by themselves. Really. Not even Sasha Banks or John Cena if he came back for another run, right? The show may be a little more watchable, but it doesn't make the show better. At the end of the day, it's still, for the most part, 3 hours of straight garbage, right? And, The Fiend and Randy Orton, you look back at the beginning of this story, it was so good. It was pretty, well, I'm not going to say it was so good, but it was pretty good for the most part. I was entertained, and, I liked the creativity that they did. But it seems like they've just, especially in these last couple of months, they've just lost all effort in trying to delay things for The Fiend to return, right? And then for the last month, you see they've just done the same thing each and every single week with, Randy Orton, spitting out the black blood or whatever you want to call it, So the fact that we didn't see it last night is the only positive I have, because I want this to end. I want Alexa Bliss, to continue with this character, but do something new, right? Move on to something fresh. Maybe have an actual feud with somebody in the women's division, instead of this feuding with Randy Orton. I want The Fiend to actually be contending in the main event scene because I feel like we all know that's where he belongs, right? But outside of that, I have no care for this. What do I expect to happen? Well, I don't expect him to have an actual match. I expect Randy to, mess around with Alexa a little bit in there, maybe he does a couple moves, but probably nothing serious. And maybe Randy teases to set Alexa Bliss on fire the same way he did to The Fiend. It'll probably be a pre-recorded match, and then The Fiend will come back, right before Randy tries to do something horrific to Alexa Bliss to end her, right? And, will The Fiend have a new mask? Will we have a completely new look? Will it be a completely new character? Maybe. I do expect something to be different. Right? But I don't know what is it going to be. I'm not going to say I'm excited for it. If it's good, of course, I'll talk about it right here on the Fastlane review. But, if it's just, I'll let you know. It's just like, I'm hoping it's something because you kept this guy off television for the last 4 months to build this up. 4 months to build this up. To sell the attack of Randy Orton setting him on fire and to build this whole angle up. So it better be damn good. It better be damn good. Right? So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not gonna say I'm excited for it, but we'll watch it and we'll see how it goes. I'm just happy we didn't see no black blood from Randy Orton's mouth last night. All right, I guess that's a positive because everything else on the show, like I've been saying, was stupid. All right. Anyway, let's get to Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. This I don't know, man. This is just absolutely horrific, right? Absolutely horrific. Oh my gosh. So Strowman came out and he looked like he was demanding another apology from Shane McMahon. If Shane gave you a bullshit apology last week, right? He apologized to Strowman, but he was basically insulting Strowman at the same time. If he gave you a bullshit apology last week, what's going to change to expect Shane McMahon, who is a McMahon at the end of the day, to actually come give you a real apology this week on Raw? Like, that made, zero sense to me. Like what that insulting my intelligence, making Braun Strowman look stupid again. Right? There was nothing, like, letting us know that, he's actually going to come out and apologize this time. Nothing. There was no indication. So, basically, so Shane came out. He kept his distance, right? And basically, he just, he started doing the same thing he did last week. Strowman was sounding intense on the mic, saying you keep stumbling over your words because you're afraid of me. You're afraid of what I'll do to you if I get my hands on you, all this other stuff, right? So, basically, then Strowman demanded a match. Shane called him stupid several times. Like, stupid. That's like I've been saying, like, every 30 seconds on this podcast. And, it got to the point where they were just yelling over each other. Right? Strowman was like, are you going to accept my challenge? And Shane's just calling him stupid. It's so cringe, so bad. And it just makes absolutely no sense. Like, why are we getting this? There's no reason to give us this. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody has any desire or interest in this at all. It's terrible. So then Shane was like, do you really want to face me? You really want to go up against me? Well, yeah, that's how I know you're really stupid. So Shane at this point was, was calling him stupid for real. He wasn't, insulting him. He was actually saying, you're stupid, Braun, So Shane accepted the match. I thought the match was going to be in the main event, but the match took place legit less than an hour later, about halfway through the show. This was terrible, man. Shane comes out with his whole baseball outfit, right? Ready to go. Shane first said, all right, we're going to have this match. But then he said, do you know how rare it is for me to wrestle these days? How special an occasion this is, right? I got to warm up real quick, man. I got to make sure I still got it. So he's pretending to do cardio. He's doing, some stretches, some push-ups, wasting our time, right? And, he's mocking Strowman's intelligence again. Because Strowman's just sitting there watching him, while he's making fun of him, calling you're a dumbass. You're just going to sit out here while I just, warm up when we're supposed to actually be fighting. So then Strowman, as he was able to get his hands on Shane, right, he started destroying him at ringside, threw him into the ring steps. He did his normal full lap around the ring, but then Shane took the camera from a cameraman and started whacking Strowman. He hit Strowman in the head, and these were real cameraman shots. So I will give Shane credit for the intensity here. The attack that Shane did on Strowman, this was the only positive out of this entire segment, match, whatever you want to call it. I did like Shane's attack, hitting him with the camera, hit him in the back. Shane was calling him stupid as he kept hitting him. He's like, you really are stupid, man. This is what you get. Let me show you how stupid you really are. So I'll give Shane a little bit of credit here. Not much. All right? Don't stress my words, people. So then Shane put him on the announce table, right, by hitting him with one last camera shot to the head. Then Shane did his elbow drop from the top turnbuckle. It looked beautiful. Shane can still do a beautiful elbow drop, right? And, he puts it all on the line. If this match does happen at WrestleMania like we all expected, what is Shane going to jump off of? Is he going to jump off some kind of, pirate ship? Is he going to jump off the WrestleMania sign? Since they already did it here tonight, you got to think they maybe have something a little more deeper plane here. But, this got really stupid, right? After the table spot. They could have ended it right there. But Shane grabbed a bucket of green slime. Like I said, Shane was able to get his hands on the leftovers from the Kids' Choice Awards from Nickelodeon. And they shipped it over to the Thunderdome, and Shane had it ready for tonight. And he dumped the green slime all over Strowman. 2 buckets of slime all over Strowman's face, right? And Shane continued to call him stupid, as the segment came to an end. This was, look, outside of the attack, the only other positive that you could take from this is that it was better than what we saw last week. That's it. It was better than what we saw last week, where you had Shane fumbling over his words, looking like a fucking retard. That's it. I'm not going to give credit because this feud is so garbage, nobody wants to see it. The attack from Shane was good, but there's no desire here. The fact that this rivalry alone is being built around somebody calling another man stupid and mocking their intelligence level just shows how they have no creativity. They have absolutely no desire to give you anything interesting on the show. And it's sad that this is what we come to in 2021 with WWE Creative. We hear all these reports of all these new writers they're bringing in, right? All these new guys, and they got absolutely nothing creatively. Nothing creatively to give you. Nothing to sink your teeth into. No storylines that keep you on the edge of your seats, that make sure you tune in each and every single week to see what's going to happen next. If anything, the only reason why you're tuning in is to see how much more stupid they can get with this shit. Like, what's next? They already announced that we're going to get a rematch with these 2 clowns at Fastlane this Sunday. And if Strowman's the babyface and Shane's the heel, right, you got to think that Shane's going to win on Sunday. Because if Strowman gets his revenge, what's the point of doing a 3rd match at WrestleMania? The 3rd match at WrestleMania would clearly be for Strowman to get his revenge as he is the babyface. And then for Shane, to lose and be taken off television again, I would hope for good, but they always come back. That's the sad thing about all this crap. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect this Sunday. Like I said, I think Shane will probably win, or there'll be some kind of fuck finish. But I'm not excited. This does not make me want to see the feud continue, right? I'm only watching it to see how much more stupid and retarded this company can get. Like I said, the fact that this is your storyline for WrestleMania is just disappointing and sad. There's no interest in it. I have no care for Strowman. I have no care for Shane. I don't know. I don't know why, this is what we're doing. Because even if Strowman wins, what does it do for Strowman? Honestly, is Shane that got like top heel that you beating him is gonna put you into a new atmosphere of popularity? It's gonna make you a bigger star? No, it's not gonna make you a bigger star. Nobody cares to see Shane on television. So you beating him is just gonna make people happy. It's not gonna do anything for you creatively and make you into a bigger star in the company. It's just terrible. It's terrible. All right. And the only positive I'm gonna give it is it was better than what we saw last week. All right. The promo shit is dumb, but the attack, the slime, I'll give WWE credit there. That was actually bad. Because kind of seeing Shane call Braun stupid is kind of entertaining. It's kind of entertaining. I know I'm using it as a gimmick on the Dice podcast. Me calling this show stupid every 30 seconds. But Shane actually calling him stupid and hitting him with the green slime. That's kind of hilarious a little bit. I would love to see this done to Charlotte Flair. That's something that is not stupid. That is actually entertainment. That would actually be the best thing WWE could do all year. Have what they did to Strowman happen to Charlotte Flair. Oh, I would love to see that happen. So, moving on. We had, I wouldn't say this is stupid, but if at least the word I'm thinking it might be leading, then it'll be stupid. Right? So, we all know Asuka's been out for about the past 3 weeks because Shayna Baszler knocked one of her teeth out. Right? And, a lot of people had her WrestleMania status up in the air, but at least for right now, she's okay because she made her return last night. And we talked about that already, how she returned during the 6-woman tag team match, which didn't make sense to me, but whatever. So, basically, Asuka attacked Shayna right before the bell and kept up the aggression throughout the entire match, right? And I love this. Asuka, this is the kind of stuff you should be getting from baby faces. She was angered, right? Here's this woman that kicked my teeth out, so hard that my WrestleMania status was up in the air. There was people doubting that, Asuka was even going to be back in time for WrestleMania. So, of course, here I am. I'm back. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. And I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to get payback. Payback's a bitch, right? So Asuka, went after Shayna and continued the aggression, which, we don't see enough from baby faces. And then she knocked Jax off the apron, making sure Jax couldn't get involved. But Baszler drilled Asuka with a huge knee to the face. If you guys saw this live or on replay, it looked brutal. It looked like Baszler was actually trying to, knock out another one of Asuka's teeth. I don't know why Baszler hit so hard in the ring. I don't know. I think it's because she's angry at her booking. So, I think this is her sending a message like, all right, you're not gonna put me in the Raw Women's title scene. You're not gonna book me the way I was down in NXT. But I'm gonna come out and actually try to take out your champion legitimately. Because these knees that Baszler hits on people, man. Whoa, man, they hit hard. We're talking about Nia Jax injuring people here. Baszler's out here giving people concussions. All right, so Asuka was able to recover and took out Jax by sending her into the ring post, right? They went at each other for submissions, and then Asuka was able to get the win with a pinning combo reversal. But the big thing was after the match, right? After the match, Baszler attacked Asuka again, tried to take out another tooth, but Asuka was able to block it, so I did like that. I honestly thought that Charlotte was going to come out and try to make the save here, and then this was going to turn into a tag team match, right? Because the Asuka-Baszler match was kind of short, which is sad, because we all know these two could give us a 25-minute classic if WWE wanted to. All right, but then Asuka, I like the way Asuka blocked Baszler's kick, and then Asuka just teed off on Shayna. Teed off. And this remind me a lot of NXT Asuka. Asuka who, just didn't give a crap. So, she curb stomped Shayna into the bottom turnbuckle, and then she removed the padding, and she was going to do it again, but the ref got in her way. Look. Where the fuck was this Asuka during her entire women's championship reign? Where was this? Outside of the feud with Sasha Banks and Bayley, where was this? We didn't see this from what? Wait, she won that title in May. Where was this in May? Where was this in June? July and August, she was feuding with Sasha. So, that was the best part of her reign, right? All right, but where was this in May, in June, in September, October, November, December, January, February, and now here we are in March. Outside of the 4 weeks, the 3-4 weeks that Sasha held that title, Asuka's been the champion since May. 10 months. 10 months as champion, and she's done absolutely nothing. Where was this aggressive before? All right? You come out her doing her little dance, winning the tag titles with Charlotte, all that bullshit. But this is the Asuka we should have been getting. And this is the kind of stuff we should have been getting. Her against Shayna Baszler in these hard-hitting matches. You know, they hit each other so hard that they're causing tools to be flying. And we're like, damn, look how on fire the Raw Women's division is. This is what we should have been getting the whole time with Asuka. And it's sad because Asuka's reign is going to most likely end at WrestleMania. No matter if it's Charlotte or Rhea Ripley. Because those are the two names right now. And they showed another Rhea Ripley package today. You know, with every passing week, I'm thinking that, you know, it's less likely Rhea debuts on Raw before Mania. But we still have 4 weeks. And still, I think we still have 3 more Raws. So it's still possible. You know, but we'll see. But I think it's more likely that we're probably not going to see Ripley on Raw until the Raw after Mania with every passing week. But it's just like, come on, man. You're doing Asuka such a disservice. They know Asuka can be booked so much better and look like her NXT self when she had the best women's title reign of all time. But, you know, they decided to go out with that babyface chicken shit. And, you know, yeah, I don't know. One thing that's scary for me is what if this was like WWE starting to turn Asuka back into a heel? She's been babyface, you know, the last year since Becky was gone, but she's also a great heel. Asuka's great as a face, but she's also a fantastic heel. You could pick your pose, your poison. My bad, I was pronouncing one. Your poison. You can pick your poison on which Asuka you prefer. But I would not be surprised if they're turning Asuka heel. And she doesn't need to be a heel. She doesn't. You know? But it would be stupid to turn Asuka heel. If anybody should turn heel, get Charlotte back as a heel. Because no one gives a damn at her as babyface. This sympathy, I keep saying it, this sympathy babyface shit that you're trying to push with Charlotte is not there. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody. So stop wasting our time. And let's move on with our lives. Like, because, you know, the way that the referee got in her way and Asuka was going, oi, 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 right? Just talking crap. You know, I loved Asuka's attack, but I would not be surprised if they're planning on turning Asuka heel and then Charlotte's going to be the babyface. And at WrestleMania, that's how they set up Charlotte to beat a heel Asuka to get her next women's title reign. I hope I'm wrong, but I would not be surprised if last night was the start of an Asuka heel turn. So moving on, we had Matt Riddle versus Mustafa Ali for the U.S. Championship, right? Remember a couple weeks ago, Ali pinned Riddle in a non-title match. I think it was a tag team match. And the sad thing is, I wasn't even against this match happening. I wasn't. And, you know, what should have happened, my problem is that you're always having your WWE champions get pinned in needless matches. No matter if it's a tag team match or a one-on-one match, you know, due to distraction. It's crazy. There's a way for us to get this match, you know, without having Matt Riddle have to take a pin a couple weeks ago. It's simple. You just have Ali win. You have Ali win matches, build momentum, and then have him challenge Apollo Crews. That's the way it should be. I don't understand what's so hard, you know, what makes this concept so hard for other people to grasp. It's simple. Really. It's really simple. But anyway, you know, we got the match here. Ali rode out to the Thunderdome on a scooter, right? Which actually looked pretty fun and pretty cool, you know. But the match was actually, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for a TV show match. Pretty decent. So we came back from break. Ali was in control, right? But Riddle made his comeback. Riddle had or Riddle actually got pinned. Riddle got pinned here, right? He was in a pinning combination from the rest of the Retribution, and Ali would have won the championship here, but T-Bar had mistakenly distracted the referee over something else, and that's what caused Ali to lose the match, right? And Riddle then was able to take advantage. He hit he hit the Bro Derek, and then he got the win to retain the U.S. title. So yeah. And once again, Ali then, absolutely went off on his crew for once again failing once again, especially in a big, high-time profiling title match like this. It's sad. It's sad. But I think I'm looking at my notes right now. Somebody just sent me something hilarious. But anyway, this whole Retribution shit, like I always say every week, is stupid. And once again, I'll say this for Matt Riddle, right? If anything, Matt Riddle should be going up against Sheamus for the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania. If I was the one booking this show, that's what I would do, right? And moving on, right? Leading into our main event, we had Bobby Lashley versus Sheamus for the WWE. Or not for the WWE. It was just, WWE champion Bobby Lashley versus Sheamus. All right? Remember, this was set up back, earlier in the show when Sheamus attacked Bobby Lashley. So McIntyre came out and he gave a quick promo before the match took place. Then, Lashley and Sheamus started going after each other. McIntyre said he wanted a ringside seat to see what was going to happen for his two future opponents, right? We know Sheamus at Fastlane and Lashley at Fastlane. So McIntyre's promo, was decent, but still with time clicking. We came back for break, and then Sheamus and Lashley were doing their entrances, right? And man, was this bout hard hitting. This is what I love. I love a battle of heavyweights, bro. And they actually called this. Tom Phillips said it was the super heavyweights division, right? And I love to say this. You have Lashley, you have Sheamus, right, who has the size to be there. You have McIntyre, you have Keith Lee. You also have what's his name? I forget what name. I can't think of it. Maybe Big Cass. Not to have just joking with you guys. If you guys, I know you guys have probably heard the rumors of Big Cass coming back. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. Just give you guys a little bit of, of perspective there. But anyway, back into it. This was hard hitting. I love this. This is what a super heavyweight battle should be. Not just like Big Show versus Mark Henry, and have these two just break the ring, and that be the big spot that everybody remembers, and that's whatever, right? Peace.